And I'm pretty sure he's probably ruined the entrance to Vapecast episode 4. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us. We are here to talk, well, just vape stuff, really. And we're gonna talk about the manufacturing industry predominantly in this one. So any questions you guys have got at home, feel free to whack into the old the comments below. But first and foremost, we have hit the 859 subscriber mark on YouTube.
Before it goes any further, I just want to say I'm really good at that. Ruining people's entrances. Oi. Carry on.
So anyway, yeah, I'll say 859 subscribers on YouTube. Whoop, whoop. Don't forget we have got that so nice suicide overdose up for grabs at 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please do hit the subscription, hit the bell, the ding-a-ling, the notifications, and all that jazz. Or what do you say, Jake?
Like, love, caress that channel.
Yeah.
Smash that thumbs up.
Little professional and stuff. We started going live on Reddit as well, which is it's been interesting. Viewer numbers have been very high. Participation and interaction is very low. So I don't know if it's just the kind of platform where people just like to watch, but hey, we'll see.
As I say, there is selected, like, there's the r/pan vaping, there's r/pan against vaping, well, against vaping, but against tobacco, which is probably the one.
I've got to try and understand, like, because at the moment I don't know where we're going live on Reddit, but we're going live in places.
So, yeah, we're in like literally the
somewhere.
First few lives. We were in every different R-pack, and some that had nothing. The first one was dissociative viewing or something.
Yeah,
it is like what?
The writing was very
there,
small. I couldn't see what I was pressing when I chose a category. It was
that's it. But we're on there, guys. So if you want to check us out on Reddit, you want to check us out on YouTube, you want to check us out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Pornhub, we are everywhere.
It makes some TikTok. We're there as well. We're absolutely everywhere. Well, anyway, yeah. So we're gonna go into the world of manufacturing, and particularly in the United Kingdom. We've always been big on the MUK, muck as we called it, made in the UK side of things. And I'd say 12 months ago, it was pretty cool. There was quite a few brands you could choose between, and they are slowly disappearing in front of our very eyes. Nameless is gone and been gone for a little while now. And then around about last week, maybe the week before, we had Merles. They're a UK mech manufacturer. They are wrapping up business. Empire Vape Co. I believe got 2 shops in Liverpool. They're packing up business. Shady Vaping, that are the company behind the Endless, so the likes of the Cleaner, the likes of the Dirtier, they're leaving the vape industry as well. So that in itself, 3 big names in just the last kind of week, 2 weeks. I know with the troubles that America have had, we've lost Immortal, we lost Death Wish, and I'm not seeing anything replacing these brands, which is a little bit.
I was going to say, you don't see someone like normally, like, you know, when you get up off the sofa, like, oh, jump in my grave as quick when someone's next to your feet. You haven't seen anyone fly in, and I wonder if COVID, I don't know where it is in America, I don't know what it's like in other places, but I don't know if they've relaxed their restrictions and stuff over there, or if it's still hard, or if they still have the bans in America where they can't ship to certain states. So a lot of up-and-coming companies have took tail and ran before they got to that stage.
Yeah.
Or if people or companies were at that stage and have just gone, it's not worth it. I can't run a business like this, and have gone under before, you know, getting to the stage of the companies we just named. You know what I mean?
It's yeah. I mean, for me, it's very sad to see, and particularly when you've got companies that, as to say, these aren't just new companies. These have been around for years and years and years, and they've decided that it's no longer worth persevering with. And that kind of casts a shadow for me over the vape industry as a whole. What's, you know, the familiarity or the similarity, I guess, is you've got UK and you have got mechanical producers, and Merle's, Nameless, Morningstar were all made in the UK. Endless UK company, and they're all no longer. So that's really not leaving a huge amount of product left that's going to be made by UK companies that are in the UK, which is a shame. Having said that, I've seen ODB going from strength to strength, and I still see ODB going from strength to strength. So they've moved themselves into the borrow world, into the AIO systems, the billets, and those sorts of accessories. And
I've not quite gone down
that rabbit hole, but
rabbit hole of
it
expense yet.
it seems to be, well, it is definitely going to be the area for the next 12 months, because just, yeah, it just seems to have filled this gap. It wasn't really a gap, but
I wouldn't say it's, yeah, I'd say they've gone in where there was pods. Well, there was a disposable, there was the pods, there
yeah,
was a
it's kind
pod
of kind of come
mods.
together, haven't they? That
Yeah, and they've basically gone for mech heads. Very rarely would use a pod unless they're out and about. But the thing with a billet, you know what I mean? You have that sort of high end mech mentality with the. I mean, guys, you know the prices of some of the bridges and stuff. You're talking 90. There's
oh,
probably some
hundreds of
over
pieces. I
200.
was going
I
to say
don't know.
you can spend an
But
absolute
yeah,
fortune on them.
it's definitely appealing to the mech heads out there and the podders alike. So it's a good
Well, that does, yeah. That's what I
middle
think.
ground.
Yeah, I think you've almost got people that previously were using mechanicals. Maybe they still do, but they no longer carry them so much, and are finding
Yeah,
actually that the likes of the rebuildables inside of the billets. And the key thing with the billet, I know Grim Green was talking about them a while. You know, he's talking about billet box specifically, and how it's amazing that this company has been around for 5-6 years, and their product is still exactly the same, and is still
yeah.
massively popular, and still sells out the second that they release it. And
I say when you've nailed it, you don't need to change.
well, the thing is, they don't do the changing, if that makes sense. So they have this base shell product which people love, but then they'll buy it and they'll change it. You know, there are so few billet box owners that will sit there with just a billet box as it came out of the box. It's literally like, right, I'm getting my control panels, I'm getting my mission freaking, do you know what I mean? They're getting the doors, they're getting the drip tips, they're getting the buttons, they're getting the screws, they're getting all these
As I
different
say,
things.
I'm not going to name names. £27. One of our someone I know. I'm not even going to say it's one of our viewers, but I think you'll pick up on what I was about to say. £27, not including delivery. They paid to get light blue, like your jumper, coloured screws, and it was a pack of 8, and they only needed 6. Now,
Who
I'm
cares?
not knocking it, but what are these screws made of? I'm sure you could go anywhere, get the same size screw, coloured that colour, and pay
You,
10 quid
you
maybe.
probably can, but what you must remember, Jake, and the reason why we are in this situation with so many of these companies disappearing is because, yes, you can go and get them cheaper if you buy it directly from the Far East. But if you support these little companies that are producing
Oh no,
these
I'm just
things,
talking Woolworths. There's little screws. I
that,
understand the
yeah,
rest
but
of it.
yeah, well, that's just you will
Screws.
always get a thread with the first one with your little plastic screwdriver. But
Mate,
yeah, no, it
it was
is.
everything else I was fine with. You know what I mean? But when I saw the screw prices, I was like, mate, it's 8 little that big, guys. If
Oh,
you are
I
watching
was going to
this,
say that they are absolutely tiny, and all the things are. And you look at it, oh, it's only plastic, but it's, you know, what you got to remember is, for these companies to exist and to make these things by hand, they have to have that price on them. Otherwise, they're going to go under if they're, you know, if they don't sell them and get the fair price for the product that they're producing, as
yeah,
far as the
yeah,
labor
yeah.
side of things. And
That is one thing
yeah,
I will say. I won't knock their quality. There has been some devices. I don't know if we should name them on a live that have been the clear printed ones that have fractured and warped on the top.
oh, we talked about it before, yeah, the Vandy Vape Pulse, and I still see it, and I
Yeah,
love how they've already got quite a passionate following, because people constantly ask, oh, but you know, about this cracking, and it's like, well, it's clearly there because so many people ask about it, and the amount of people that will go, well, nothing's happened to mine, and it's like, he did ask that, because if you look down the comments, he's asked, has it happened to anybody? And there's at least 10 people in the conversation that it has happened to, and then there are the people that it hasn't happened to. And as far as the
yeah.
people that it hasn't happened to, well, it can't happen. You've smashed it, you've over tightened it, you've dropped it. It's like, guys, come on,
I
let's
say
not be
you
silly
always
here.
see, oh, well, you're obviously screwing your atty on 2 tires. Like, well, 10 people doing that,
Vandy Vape
maybe,
are
but there's
sending out
loads of
replacements. There is an issue. It is a problem, and people are holding off now because they're concerned. They don't want to buy a product and for it to crack and split on the top.
they did say the darker, thicker or more dense prints, materials, whatever, haven't had that issue. So like you completely see through, your clear blues, your clear green. They're the ones that have been affected. But even still, at least they're rectifying it.
Well, hopefully they are. The thing is, with the replacements that they're sending out, there hasn't been a huge amount of information, and it would be nice to know. Right, okay, so if Andy Vape is sending out a new body to the people who have cracked, is this just a body from the same batch of bodies that were produced in the first batch and potentially happen again, or
Or
have
they
they made
always,
a change? In which
yeah.
case, let the world know we've changed it. Yeah, there was a problem and we fixed it. No one's going to look at you any less for that. It's when you make, when there is a problem with something and you either deny it or you won't
I
fix
would
it.
say, yeah, if they've corrected it now, realizing it, then you're all like, yeah, that's fine. But if they've done what you first said, where maybe they've just sent out the first batch again as a
I'll just
replacement,
turn around and say to everyone, "Oh,
that's
well, you've just over tightened it. It's your fault. You broke it."
yeah, that's a bit shit if they do that, because then in a couple of weeks the same thing is going to happen if they're not over tightening and it's a genuine fault. The same thing's going to happen again. But I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll
It
see.
has it's weird because it is one of these things where people are speculating. And I do think it would be a good thing if Tony B and Vandy Vape were to just sit down and say, right, this is what the problem is. This is why it's happening. This is what we're going to do to rectify the situation. Happy days. Whereas at the moment, it's like, oh, is it heat? Is it pressure? Is it over tightening? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, well, it's clearly
Yeah.
something, but we don't know what. The Vandy Vape do is to say, if you've got your name on a product, you're going to want to know if there is an issue and what is causing that issue to fix it. But again, they've been massively popular because of the price point that they've dropped into, and that is
Yeah.
a good thing because it's introduced a lot of people into that world. And there are
Yeah.
so many manufacturers now that are coming alive and producing these fabulous bits of kit, the likes of Cherry Pine, which went from very, very, well, basically nothing into something so quickly, and have now got some absolutely stunning bits of kit coming out. And again, they're selling out straight away, and they're not cheap either. So there is opportunities there, but I would like to see more coming from our neck of the woods, more coming from the UK
UK. Yeah.
than there currently is, because they all seem to be made elsewhere in the world.
I I genuinely think the UK is maybe not. Well, I was going to say I think the UK is struggling far more than it should, but equally I'm not knocking it and saying that it's not hard. It by all means is, but I think they shouldn't have to. You know what I mean? Like there shouldn't
Yeah.
be this issue where, well,
Well, one of the things that I've noticed with vape industry since we've been involved with it is my own, and it's probably the same for so many people at home. You see these brands and you just think, oh, it's a successful brand because it's there. But what you actually
yeah,
don't realize is that this person's doing it as a part-time thing on the side of their full-time job to try and make it succeed before they can go into it full-time. And it's a long, long road. And because people see that and then they see the cheaper Chinese stuff and then, they maybe go with the cheaper options, these companies then aren't making it because it's the backing isn't there in its entirety, or they just don't have enough of an offer to exist. And
yeah.
yeah,
Well,
as I say, it's
I get what you say at that point, but there's also a lot of companies or one-man teams or like ourselves, two-man team. No offense to the moderators and patrons out there, we do appreciate you. But yeah, there's groups like us or just one-man teams that are hemorrhaging money and still doing the giveaways, still doing the competitions, and still slogging it out day in day out and losing money. And I don't want to say fighting a losing battle, but it feels like that some days. So I can totally appreciate these companies that we named earlier that are going under, gone under,
it takes
hard
a
up
lot.
against it because there's always China, and it's not a racial thing, but there is always China who can, for whatever means, they could, for instance, make this. Like this is the Nevox Feeling Mini, but say it was unbranded and it was just a little normal rechargeable pod system. China could make that for £1, maybe £2. Even just getting the electronics made in the UK and wired up before Cerakoted, before you did pods and coils, you'd probably have already paid a fiver. So you're already at a loss before having a finished product, and that will always be the battle. And it's the same across the
It's a
board.
big battle, all right.
But But that's where you need to, shop local, guys. Shop
Well,
local.
that's the thing, isn't it? It is supporting these brands, and again, I think it's the awareness that comes down to the fact that so many of these companies and businesses that are in the UK are actually very, very small. They're not all successful that are backed by multiple stores with these
Yeah,
brands. They're doing their best, as we are. We're doing our best to succeed, against in very difficult circumstances.
yeah.
And we know ourselves to the point of what it gets to for you to decide, actually, do you know what, all that hard work, it's time to stop. And
Yeah.
I could only begin to imagine how the likes of Merle's feel having to stop. I don't think it's better opportunities come. I'm sure it's like, really don't want to do this, really don't want to give up, but it's not
Well,
putting
we
food on the
we we
table.
were there, what, two and a bit years back. We had a sort of, we're like, oh, can we continue doing this? It's now taken up a lot more time than we thought because, guys at home, no offense to you guys, you see us doing a 2 hour show and think that's all we do, but we have to procure all the items, and we have to basically get all the stock in, and that spends hours a day. And getting the deals on the second hand devices, buying from you and then selling to you offline, getting the website, paying for the website, everything we do is to
Hugely
try and give
involved.
the best deal to the viewer. um but one thing that does my nut in, and I had this yesterday, was I got an inbox saying, I'm not going to say the company, but I got an inbox saying, this website is doing it this price, will you price match? I reply back, no. Oh, well, you won't get my custom. I was like, well, you weren't offering your custom. You were saying I had to compete with a multi-million-pound industry company that is like buying devices at a fiver and selling them for a tenner when we can only buy them in at 15. Like, we can't compete with that. But we can do delivery within the week. They're going to be 2-3 weeks shipping because you're getting it from abroad. And you'll always have those people, you know what I mean? And you'll have the people that will order at 7 a.m. in the morning and email at 1 p.m. saying, where is it? There's loads of things that go into it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Yeah, I can understand them going under, and yeah, it's a stressful industry.
Well, you've got to, yeah. So the only thing that I can say to people, and they don't have to listen, but if you do like a brand, if you do like a shop, if you do like, um, well, either that brand or the shop, then don't look at something that they're selling, and then if you see it cheaper elsewhere, then buy it from elsewhere, because
Yeah,
that shop that you love or that brand that you love, or just us as an example, if you don't, if you buy it from somewhere else, then what's going to keep the one that you like going if you're
yeah.
not giving them your custom?
Yeah,
um
like when we get inboxes saying, "Oh, this device, blah blah blah. Oh, what's the best ohmage for the coils? What kind of batteries would it take? Can it handle blah blah?" And you answer all the questions, and then go, "Oh, brilliant. All right, would you like to buy it? Oh no, I've seen it on blah 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 for £1 less."
yeah, you get it. It's
That's why they're cheaper, because they don't give you the
it
personal
is.
touch, but then you
It's
go there.
and I've had it throughout my retail career. I can get it cheap on Amazon. I can get it cheap on eBay. And it's like, yes, you can. And there's absolutely
Yeah,
nothing that physically fronted forums, stores can
yeah,
compete with that, because there's that person and that interaction, and it's not a free thing. It's the money has
yeah,
got to come
yeah.
somewhere.
As
Um,
much as we always try and be the most affordable, we are not per se charging for experience, but that comes in part of the bundle. So we're not going to charge you for the full retail that you see. So say a device is 45 quid, we'll probably sell it at 40. You're getting a saving, but you're also getting walk for it, how to use it. We showcase it on a show. We do a full review on it. We show you exactly what it looks like. For example, the Anakin device, if you are watching this, guys, the Chroma 217, we showed exactly what it looks like. We give our thoughts on the ins and outs of it. So if there was any point we covered that would put you off buying it, you now know. Whereas you go to a website that's, I don't know, abroad, and it's saying it's 35 quid plus shipping. So you're saving a tenner, but then the shipping's a tenner, so you're paying the same. But they don't give you that insight. They don't give you the extra knowledge. And that's why a lot of UK companies are going under, because we'll spend the time and effort going through it all. But end of the day, money is king. But I don't want to bring you down, guys. I don't want to bring you down. What's the next subject, John?
we'll
Let's
uh,
bring it
we'll,
back up.
we'll talk about something new. We'll talk about something new. I think we'll
Go
talk
on.
about something new. Now, again, it's not been officially released, so you won't see it
Ooh,
anywhere
sneak.
just yet, but it's going to come soon. The Geek Vape Aegis pod system. And there is now an Aegis Pod 2 on the horizon. So if you like that key fob style pod system, there is an updated version. Haven't got specs or anything on it. I've seen pictures of it. It's
Mm.
looking all right. Well, it wasn't really my cup of tea. But yeah, it's something new on the horizon.
Okay, okay. So you don't know any. As a ghost just walked in because I heard a very creaky,
My
scary
door is
ghost.
open. Bear with me 2 seconds.
Okay. Well, so yeah, I've not seen anything on that Geek Vape device as of yet. It was, I think, announced late last night or early this morning. So I will be looking into that. As you know, guys, I do love Geek Vape. I do love a cheeky device. A review will be coming on the H45 soon. Um, we've done the Legend. We've done the Legend 2. We've got the I believe the M100. John will probably correct me there.
The
M10.
Winax M1.
M1. M1. I'm just adding
That's the
zeros.
little one. They do have a 100, but the 100's more of a complete ends.
Yeah, more of a pod moddy. This is more of a, yeah, like
I'm just,
slim,
yeah.
chubby. Yeah, so we will be having a review of that. I'll say coming shortly. I'm not sure exactly when, but we have got that in the works. We have got the H45 we'll be doing a review on as well. And I'd hazard to say we will be trying the new fob style from Geek Vape as well. Probably just called the Pod 2
I
because they
think
only
that's all
call it
they've
a
called it.
pod.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
it's all it is. It's just an updated version, a facelift version. And yeah, no, that's I know when they put it out, there was a couple of comments underneath with issues with the previous version, and they've said, have you, has this been fixed? Has this looked at? Have you
Yeah.
changed this? Apparently, some people were having problems with auto firing in the pocket and that sort of stuff.
And so
Um,
you could turn that feature off, but maybe some people just don't want to turn it off because they like that feature.
yeah, or
And
just
it shouldn't auto
didn't
fire,
know
so
kind of
I
thing.
accept it. Yeah.
Um,
Do you know when we'll be doing the M1s? Have you shipped my parcel?
I haven't shipped your parcel yet. No, need to get your parcel shipped so we can so you can have a play on that one and we can get that done.
I was going to say, yeah, I can't wait for that. I'm sure you guys can't. The H45 from Geek Vape as well. I don't know when do you reckon we'll be doing that, John? Because I'll probably be doing mine in the next week or
Yeah, it needs
so.
to be soon. Yeah, want to do it soon. I've had a good bit of use out of it and thoroughly
Yeah.
enjoyed it. So yeah, I want to go through
When
all
you
the.
say a good bit of use, are you anywhere near 7,479?
Oh, I was going to be close then. I'm at like 700. So
Well, that, as you guys know, watching us at home or listening in the background, I will always hammer the hell out of a pod. Mods, not so much. So, as an example, Chroma 217, I'm only at 156 puffs. So, I'm pretty sure John has beat me on that.
the Chroma, I actually have 895 puffs on at the minute.
See, there you go. So, I'm a couple ahead on the H45 pod, and John's a couple hundred ahead on the mod. But you've been using it with different tanks as well, haven't
I
you?
was going to say, well, don't forget, I've had me, I've got 1,400 puffs, over 1,000 puffs on my 65. Love it. I'm loving this one. Really
Oh,
am.
check you. Secret podder, guys, secret podder.
You know what? It's just the flavor of those coils is absolutely superb, and the fact that with it when it's fully charged, as I say, it's the thing when it's fully charged at the 60 watt mark, it's a decent throat hit, decent cloud
Is it
production.
a day and a half day for you vaping?
Off a charge, yeah, it would be. I would see from fully charged in the morning. I would, to be honest, I kind of got into a habit with it of whenever I'm about a charger, plugging it in. I haven't actually gone
Ah,
down the route of just using it because I always
yeah,
it's crazy how charge it quicks,
yeah.
how how
How
how
charge
quick
it
it
quick?
charge.
Yes. Well, it's
You know,
amazing how think you drunk I am.
two and
Yes.
a half thousand milliamp in there. It's got two individual batteries that sit inside it, and it's got the fast charge systems that basically it'll charge the entire lot in 18 minutes when you've got the right charger. And I happen to have that charger with my phone, so when I connect it, It literally, you can almost watch it just go and it's done. So yeah, it's a great bit of kit, and I've thoroughly enjoyed using that one. And it was just a natural step up from the H45.
And
Again, I was impressed with that.
I didn't get my hands on it.
Fortunate. But you got a 45. Do you know what I mean? Your baby lungs. You don't need the bigger one. It's
I
wasted
know,
on
but
you.
I didn't even get sent that theoretically because they said like Geek said, "I'm going to send 2 addresses now, just one." And then I was like, "All right, that's fine. They're still sending for both of us. That's fine." But then they said that, and they only said the one, guys. They only said the one. And out of the 2 of us, who deserves the pod? You know, a mech worth $5,000. I'll
What's
send
that
it,
pack
John.
for? Yeah, because we've had loads of them sent our way, haven't
Oh, every week, every other week, mate.
we?
Yeah, yeah.
But
But no,
yeah, so
I do like my pods. I do like
Geek
my
Vape are
pods.
busy. They're continuing to move. Smock seem to be a bit quiet at the moment, and for a brand that is usually pumping.
They've had a big shift around, moving more. For you guys that don't know, Waterfo, Smock, one and the same kind of. Um, they've had more of a push towards the Waterfo side. So I don't know if you've seen that there's a lot more in the R&D chat for Waterfo. And you've been receiving more of their devices more and more. Whereas I don't know, every 2-3 months I'd have a Smock device. Now I can't remember the last time I got one. You've probably had 4 Waterfos since my last Smock.
Yeah, well, yeah. As far as the individual items, they're more the RDAs,
Yeah.
RTAs,
And
tanks, and that
Smock
sort of
have
stuff that
released,
they're still putting out.
yeah, Smock have released 3 items or 3 devices this year, which, yeah, is quite a lot, but for Smock is very, not lacking, but not what they're normally.
Do you know what? It's got. I'm gonna say it. Right, here it
Go,
comes,
go.
Jake. Disposables, right?
I'll see you later, guys. Good night.
This is what has destroyed, and this is why these companies have disappeared, and this is why we're seeing a slowdown on these companies. Because I guarantee you now, if you spoke to somebody at Smock that knew what they was talking about, and you said, "How many dispos is your company producing right now?" They'd turn around and say, "Oh yeah, all of a sudden we're producing 20 million when last year we was only doing 5." And that's why
Yeah.
we are not, because that's where this demand is growing and growing and growing, and it needs to freaking stop because it's killing our industry. There we go. That's got that off my chest.
That was a short one. All right, I'll give you that. I'll give you
It's
that.
been niggling me because
Um,
do you know what? It's at the bottom of every single problem we've got right now.
I was gonna say Smock have their own disposable. That came out year and I can't
They've
remember
got
how
the
long it came.
Novo now, haven't they? The Novo's disposable,
They've got a disposable Novo.
called the Novo, and it's just basically a coloured. Looks like the Novo, but it's just slightly smaller, and it's a disposable, and it's called the Novo.
Oh no, I hadn't. Had I
Yeah.
seen that?
So they're,
Maybe I had.
as I say, that's and
They
again,
had the old square one. I think it's called Smock Wow or something
I
like that.
imagine with their, as I say, again, don't know what the factories are like over in China. I don't know how it works, but I
Yeah,
know that all the different brands that we see aren't all in their own individual warehouses producing these things. I know that there is a lot of mass
yeah.
production by a couple of brands for all of these other brands, and that's kind of the way that it works. So I can kind of see why that's happening. And yeah, as I say, it's nice to see that Geek Vape are still putting things out, even if it's not revolutionary or really game changing, but at the same time there is still this bit of focus on the pod mod systems and moving that battery technology
I
forwards.
don't know because you said about the chat for the new car fob key fob thing from
Yeah.
Geekmate. I don't know if you saw the chat about the Squonk bringing another Geek Vape Squonk out.
No, again, I mean,
I don't think it will go anywhere because
it's
Squonks
one of the,
are,
they're a
you know what I mean?
niche. They're a niche, and they have a following, and people do love the people that love a squonk, and on paper, a squonk should be what everybody uses when you think about what it does and how it does it. They just don't. They just don't.
I find that I get more seepage or more leakage from them
It is. It's just messy,
than
and
yeah.
it doesn't. Again, it's like as you say, you're talking an 8 ml bottle. You're talking RDA flavor. if you've got a regulated device, you've got that protection element. You know, it's like it's ticking all of the boxes. Yet,
Yeah. Well, how squonks are now, if they were like that 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I would have been a squonker and probably have stuck with it. But because how far sub-ohms have come, just sub-ohms on their own, sub-ohm coils, stock coils, you don't really need them anymore. Because if you want to experience a higher flavor than what a sub-ohm can do, even some RDAs that are coming out now don't compete. You know what I mean? Like there is RDAs out there that do and surpass sub-ohm coils by far, but you don't need a squonk for it. You know what I mean? Like
no,
if you're happy with the flavor from a sub-ohm, and even some pod systems, like you said about the Geek Vape, even some pod systems kick out amazing flavor compared to years ago.
they do. But I am still yet to find something in that kind of a bit of kit that competes with my dual coil RTA. Um,
Mm.
if I did, then I would use it happily all day, every day, and then I would be a podder. But I just don't. I just don't think that they'll ever bridge the two. Well, actually, no.
Yeah.
I think they can bridge the two, but it is going to take a company that's quite innovative. And
When SX did the auto squonk, where you when you're vaping, it would like when it realised the cotton's a bit dry, it would pump it up itself, so you don't even need to squeeze a bottle or anything like that.
big,
But I still had seepage. I still had
still made you moist.
well, yeah, it just wasn't. I don't know if it was just sending it too soon and it thought the cotton was dry and it wasn't, and then it was just pouring out the airflow because it had oversaturated, thinking it was drier than it was. I don't know, but yeah, it was a really nice device, and I wouldn't say it was big. I would say it was smaller than the Chroma 217. It wasn't a bigger device at
Oh no,
all.
yeah, I'm thinking of a different one. I'm thinking of that big round jobby that
No, it was kind of similar size to this. So for you guys that are watching at home, I'm holding up a Org Vape VTech 1.8. It was a similar size to that, and then the bottle was sort of cut into there, and then it had a metal thing that went up
your
to pump
description
it
is
through.
marvelous. We all know exactly what you're talking about now. So yeah, if you want to check it out on
Well,
Google, you might get an idea as to what he was trying to
that's
describe
it.
there.
SX Auto Squonk. There you go, guys. You nailed it, mate. Nailed it.
On the head, mate, on the head. Well, yeah, I think that brings us nice and neatly towards the end of our Vapecast
Beautifully.
episode number 4. If you have sat through to this end, please do comment below and let us know. It'd be great to see how many people listen to the entire thing. If you haven't, then you're not listening to what I'm saying now anyway. So whatever. But yeah, of course, don't forget, guys, subscribe, turn those notifications on. We're live Wednesday at 9 p.m. ish for our patrons, and then about 10 o'clock for the main live, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 9 p.m. ish. It would be great to see you all on the live. But from now, from me, hashtag one drop John.
And from me, if I say Jake.
Until
Ciao, ciao.
next time, you beautiful people.
Bye, Felicia.